So I started working on this at 2:30 in the morning, and it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon because I just wanted to have this banger day. Because my whole goal was to make it start and run with the key, and we did that. And then I drove it out of the shop, and then it died on me. And the reason it died, because Adam just seen it. You want to do the honors? It's so funny. I will let you do the honors. Oh, we got it. What we've been fighting here is we haven't been able to get her into reverse. Wow. The downside is sometimes when you get so many things on your mind, simple things like that you miss. Has quite the sound to her, doesn't she?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. That's just that. You crack that throttle and it's just like, wow, that's power.
How can you not smile when you just listen to it run?
Oh man, isn't that something? That is.
The cables for our pump are hooked up backwards, so instead of pushing fuel to the tractor, it's actually sucking it back.
But you know what's amazing about that? I am so happy. Hopefully it's an easy fix. Go ahead, hit it. Let's see what she does.
That's awesome. That sounds awesome.
I'm still just happy. I don't care.
Yeah. How can you not be listening to that? That's awesome.
The marathon continues. We keep making some amazing forward progress, and as you can see, we're outside. It's outside the shop, and it actually drove outside the shop. Wow. We knew the biggest challenge was obviously the motor, clutch, etc. Then it went hydraulic lines, fuel lines, getting all the the pieces to fit and finish the way we wanted to. Last week we got it running. Huge win, absolutely huge win. But then we also found out after we got it running, there's a few little problems along the way. Problem number one, it didn't want to shift and go in reverse. So we're here trying to get our shifter to drop into reverse. I talked to mechanic Larry this morning, and we both kind of thought the same thing. Maybe these little levers aren't moving, and they're typically underneath the floor, so we had to hold the floor. And what we found here, I think we just found out why she won't shift. More than likely, it had to be something relatively simple, but it, you know, you fought it all the way this far, you always fear that, oh crap, it could be something worse. Oh, this is not gonna be fun. Grab these little things, because we're gonna need them. These are your spacers. Yeah, go ahead and yank that out. You're gonna be surprised what this looks like when we're done, because it won't look like that. The good news is, it looks like that. The reason that's the good news, what we have here is when you move the shifter, it moves little cables and moves little shift levers. And all along, we kind of figured that there's probably some dirt or something mounded up. Okay, yeah, I think we got lever there stuck. Been a while since I worked on a 5020. Heck yeah. Okay, I see it. Right there. Pretty sure that just confirmed it. Yep. All right, here we go. I think you can kind of see the lever there. Yep. Okay. I think I see a lever. So what we're hoping right now is this SCV that's right here. That should be here. Or maybe blocking. Yeah. And it's not allowing it to do the stuff it needs to. It's definitely wedged in there. The funny thing, this tractor still has John Deere ends. This is a newer Pioneer style. What's this doing in the tractor? See that right there? Oh, we got it. Who thought it was gonna be that? So relieved. What we've been fighting here is we haven't been able to get her into reverse, but the actual lever didn't want to go, because now I bet we get the, and still probably needs some adjustment. There's your kind of it. There's second reverse. We couldn't get that before. Okay, Adam corrected me. We didn't have it in second reverse. We technically would have had it third reverse. But right here is our second reverse, so right there would be fifth. You can just hear the transmission shift. It's like she wants to run. It's like she wants to run.
Yo.
All right, this can get thrown in the scrap bin. So we have this goal tomorrow, -6 right now, but tomorrow's supposed to get up to 30. And our goal is to strap our 5-gallon jug of fuel where the normal fuel tank would go and drive this thing around the yard. This just made that much more possible. I think this tractor's been sitting longer than we ever thought. Yeah, okay. I've never seen, there's kind of a little cavity in there, and I've never seen a tractor like that built up with crap. Okay. And you could tell it was hydraulic oil, it was dirt. I mean, it all just kind of settled there. But go for a drive. Yeah, I think the more I'm around this thing, the more I kind of just realize it's been sitting a little longer than just the 10-year-old tree. Oh, pretty cool. We made a run.
Yep. Oh, very nice.
Then after that, the next challenge we were going after, we kind of discussed it a little bit last week, but there was absolutely no wiring in the tractor. There was nothing left of the John Deere, the factory harness, which again, isn't that big of a surprise. Originally, this tractor was a 1967. We ran the serial number. It would have been 1967 model 5020. What we think is originally from the factory that this was a 24-volt generator system, not an alternator, and that it would have had 24-volt light. At this point, it was actually just easier just to start from scratch and just build it ourselves. Basically, about the only thing I used out of the old wiring harness was the actual starter solenoid. So you heat it up from the bottom?
Well, if you clamp this in, the vice acts like a heat sink and doesn't get hot enough.
That's why mine. So that's why mine sucked earlier when I was trying to do it. I'm like, I watched Andre do this, man. He made this look easy.
Yeah, if you leave it out, then the heat sinks into the metal.
That makes a lot of sense.
And then it'll start sucking it in. Yeah, can't clamp the metal into the vise, so it takes all the heat away. And then you start burning everything.
Wow, this is a neat little trick. Yeah, because mine wasn't looking that nice.
Well, then you had to put the torch on the rubber and melt that all in either. This way it just sucks it in.
How did you know? That's exactly how mine looked. We added a whole bunch of fuses and solenoids, and actually we a couple of relays, and we actually mounted a fuse panel in there. I haven't started working on the lights yet, but I did go after the dash. I have a whole day just straightening out the dash. I didn't think I had a whole lot of junk laying around, but I do have some. Behind me, what I'm leaning up against is actually the rear half of a 6030. So that means 2019, we bought the front half of a 4840. And in 2016 or 17, I bought the back end of the 6030 because I actually need parts out of the rear end. And well, today we're gonna grab the tachometer. This tachometer is in a little better shape than our 5020. And so I'm gonna grab this quick and yeah, see how this goes. And then we'll see if we can't get it mounted in the 5020. Hopefully it'll be all right. We had to move some gauges around and do some things a little different. But the end result's really nice. I'm glad. I mean, it's kind of a low budget deal, but we got dash back in. We got the wiring back in. There we go. I think our sending unit's about half out of it. Cool. Well, we figured out how to wire it. Different. So with that 24
So it's kind of
volt,
like an old house where you're just like, we should probably just update all the wiring now.
yeah, you know, like when you've redone kitchen projects and it's just
Yeah.
like keeps going.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is how that is.
Okay,
Yeah.
see, now I understand.
Yeah, actually 12 volt wiring is not that automotive, you know, wiring like this. Not that much different.
Okay.
Oh man, it has been a rodeo. I woke up at 2:30 this morning. I fell asleep, and then it was one of those things where like I woke up like 1:30, and I'm like, let's just go. Like screw it, let's go. And it's what 4:30ish right now, 4:45.
Yeah, the next
And
afternoon. Yeah.
other than I did a little trucking, we did a parts run to town. I mean, I've been working on it all day here, just trying to wrap some bunch of stuff up, just so we could get it to drive outside.
Yeah, you know the weather's going to turn again and
Yeah.
get cold again, so you want to
Yeah, I got
do
to
it.
45 today. How cool is that?
I know, it feels like it'll be 70, right? Like this
so
time of year,
nice.
it's awesome.
It is so nice. It makes a few things a little more challenging, but the weather's so nice you don't care. You're just like, whatever.
Yeah.
The battery box, we welded an end onto it. Somebody had cut it open to put the bigger batteries in, welded up an end for it. Then you actually found me this diamond plate from the back.
Did you find something?
Yeah, I think this will work.
Oh, that looks good.
It's
Yeah,
actually kind of on top of the pile, too.
good.
Yeah.
On top of the iron rack, huh?
Yeah. Well, it's easy to get to. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, that'll work good.
No, I think that's going to work good. We just know what's going to happen. Mark's been working on the battery box, just trying to clean it up a little bit. And we both talked about how we've done this before on some of the other tractors. You've built a lot of toolboxes. And then what happens is you end up using it as a step. And that's what I was telling my dad here. I'm like, let's build it heavy enough that it can be used as a step. And you don't got any problems with that, do you?
No, not at all.
We just got done, we cut it so that it overlaps all the way around. We'll round the corners. And so it looks nice, but we just welded in the hinges. And if you've seen, I used a piece of flat steel to give me, and clamped it to it to give me the right distance so that all the geometry would work. So she should be pretty good when we're done.
And actually, you've done this on a number of the 4850s, kind of fabbed your own step. And then this is actually the
Toolboxes.
cover for the step toolbox combination that you
Yeah.
built for those. And this diamond thread works really nice.
It does, it gives you a safe grip. So
The one nice thing too, with this being as heavy as it was, you know,
somebody's hands on it, they
So-
don't have to
yeah.
worry about it warping.
and we've never had a battery explode, but you've always heard
No.
those horror stories if one exploded. At least you got a decent amount of metal, and because where are the batteries on this tractor otherwise?
Under your feet, under the platform.
Yeah, not the best
Yeah.
design in the world. It worked.
It wasn't
It
bad.
worked.
It wasn't bad before they put cabs on them.
Gotcha. That
You know,
makes
so
sense.
now it was pretty open. You just took the floor
Yeah,
up and
great look too. I mean,
it was streamlined. You know, you didn't have a battery box hanging out the side. But we also built it so that we can remove this by just sliding it out the ends of the hinges. But what I'll have to do.
why did you have to do that? There's something kind of in the way. You think there's
Well,
something
the
in the
exhaust manifold might be in the way.
way. That gigantic
Yeah.
exhaust manifold.
Or header,
Yeah.
as Gordon calls it. But the nice thing about this is we just have to put a little bolt through here, and that'll always keep it from falling off. But if we want to, if we're putting batteries in, it might make it pretty easy. Because the exhaust manifold will hit right up in here. You probably get it about that open. Yeah. So,
Very cool though.
corn
Yeah.
curb engineering.
Oh, I think it's kind of neat you're able to salvage it. So what he's talking about, you'll see here where when we first started, this was all open. And what do you think? They just had it built for smaller batteries, or
I
then
think-
extended it?
Yep, I think as the truck batteries got bigger and more popular, well, if you got a truck motor, you might as well put a truck battery in it. From right here where the green starts, this is all welded on. This is actually 3 pieces of metal. That end is. It's a piece of flat stock in the middle and 2 angle irons welded. Now we'll just cut open a spot to run our cables through, and we can kind of hide everything.
So we built it with the intent of using 2 Group 31 bolt-down truck batteries. That's actually even like the 50 series. That's what 50 and 40 series.
We've converted everything to that, so we have one big battery,
Because
and we can
from
have
the-
a couple on hand.
From the factory, there were 2 6-volt batteries conjoined to make a 12, and just battery technology came a long way since then. So now, in that same spot, we can put 2 of these Group 31 truck batteries in it, and it makes a big difference starting them.
Everything for a truck is cheaper
Yep, and they're also some of the cheapest
because of the
batteries
fleet.
you will
Yep,
find.
because of the fleet large fleets buy in and purchasing, they kind of cater to it. So
No.
you can put brakes in a semi cheaper than you can in your car.
Yeah, I'm sure you can.
If you can, yeah. A U-joint for a semi is cheaper than one for your pickup.
No, that's one thing that changed.
Oh,
Yeah.
used to be.
Yeah. Yeah, those are a couple $100 a pop.
But we'll round the corners. We'll wire wheel that off. We're almost done with most of the paint.
It'd be easy if you came here with just 2 chunks of metal, and then so when it closed, it can't rattle one way or the other.
Oh, yeah.
You know, the only way it ever opened.
No, I know. I thought about that. I mean,
Actually, if you just did a stop right there, like a little something.
it only has to
It
be.
can't- that way it can't
only has to be in that corner.
No,
Because that one is sliding that way.
yeah. So if you welded it right here.
Oh, on the outside, yeah. I was thinking going on the inside so nobody's seen it.
Okay.
This is one of the last exterior projects to build, and we built this last because we knew the steps were going to go there, and we had to fit them to fit, so we knew where this had to be as far as the cover, where so it missed the steps, and so this was kind of the last step. We've got the dead switch mount built, we got the steps built, and now this is the last of them till we get into mirror brackets
And flashers
and flashers.
and lights.
Yeah.
And figure out, do we keep the cab or not keep the cab? There's pros every which way. But we don't have to make that decision today. Today we're just trying to get it
'cause
running.
We don't have fenders to throw on it right now anyway, so the cab stays till we get them.
Yeah, I do agree with you on that. We'll see. I'm open. There's so many trade-offs. In some ways the cab is nice. In some ways the cab is a pain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we built the steps so that they would be adjustable for any change ups that we do, whether we build,
And knowing you really think those 18438s are going to stay on the back end of that?
I know they're not.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
My only 2 cents is if we keep it skinny, if we keep the tires skinny, something that'll be, we could keep it as a roll cop tractor, we'd use it way more. I have dreams of putting a quick hitch on this thing and using it for side dressing. We don't need it. We don't need it, a tractor that big for side dressing, but it'd be a lot of fun.
yeah,
And
that's a good job for 4320.
Yeah. We got enough parts, we can make another one. The main goal that I had for today was, could we just get it to start with the key and the push button?
Okay.
As we get closer to spring, and we got to do a little bit of work here in this upcoming week or next week or two, and then I know we're going to be transitioning a little bit to getting ready for crops, that kind of stuff. So the mindset is, let's get it so we can start and drive it with the key. That way we can take it from storage to the shop, work on it when we have time. We're still waiting on the...
And so that's one of the questions that have been coming up is this going to be a show pony or a workhorse?
Oh, I don't think the guys here will let it sit in the shed. I think that's something, no matter what, I'll get outvoted on. Like, no, I want to get in the field. Either the roller or planter or something. Like,
Okay.
no.
So it's going to see the
Yeah, and that's, okay,
I think it's what it wants.
your brother, like, have you ever actually seen any of the old vehicles that we get running? You ever seen them actually sit?
No, I think that's awesome.
That's just kind of our style. Our style is always like, hey, let's get this thing in the field. Let's get
And
it dirty.
It's not so nice or so rare that you would feel bad using it. It'd be fun to drive, right?
There's 2 different avenues that I look at it. Number 1, we built it, we can build it back, right? We heard it, we can build it back. Number 2, would you really feel that manly just seeing it in the shed all pretty? No, you gotta see it with dust and dirt. That first scratch always hurts, but I can tell you, I put that first scratch in about 3 weeks ago. when we started bolting stuff back out, we knew there's some paint that we're gonna, even when we were painting it all, we knew we wanted to get it cleaned up and etc. Or get cleaned up and painted up. But we knew even doing that, like we were gonna scratch it going back together. So that's what's kind of cool. The band-aids ripped off. We already scratched it.
Dude, it's a Detroit. They like RPMs.
I wanted to get to this certain point today, and I just wanted to get to start and run with the key and the shut off and all that, and we got that.
I've seen comments too, and I thought this when you guys pulled in the yard. We're like, we got a 50/20, we got a 50/20, and then I'm looking at it and I'm like, the hood says 60/30 on it, which a 60/30 is cool too. But what's going on here?
Oh, you know, I think one farmer once upon a time had a really good dream.
He just wanted to pretend like it was a 60/30.
I think so. I think, you know, if you went back to the time frame when those stripes got put on. So the tractor actually is a 50/20. We ran the serial number. We got a couple books here in the shop that will actually break down tractors by serial number, by age, etc., year of manufacturing. And they're incredibly helpful. And what I'll always tell you, if you're ever looking at a muscle car, it doesn't matter, muscle car, motorcycle, etc., do your research, because there's so much, especially with the internet today, there's so much data out there on what it actually is, where you can break, especially cars. Cars and trucks are really good. You can break down the motor, the transmission by build dates, etc. If you do the research, it's out there. You can find out if that vehicle or that bike that you're looking at is accurate. In this case, John Deere only has the one serial number on the back rear end housing, and we knew it, and actually it was an advertisement that even though the hood stripe said 60/30, it actually is only a 50/20, which I'm totally fine with.
So are the hoods the same, or did they literally just put stripes on that said 60/30?
They just put stripes on
Okay,
that
so
said
50/20
60/30.
hood.
There
Yeah.
is just the difference with the 50/20 hood and the 60/30 hood. The air cleaner and muffler in different spots.
Okay.
And then the 60/30 actually has the air cleaner coming up the top of the hood. We
Okay.
actually have two of those.
Two 60/30s?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. One's in pieces. We got to talk to Larry, because maybe if we can
That's
twist
the next project?
Mechanic Larry's arm a little bit, we can get working on it again.
Yeah.
Oh, we've been talking about it for years. We just haven't had the time. Kind of well versed in the 50/20, 60/30, but that's to put that the myth to rest. It actually is by serial number of 50/20, and
Because also they didn't make 60/30s with a
no.
engine like this.
There were a few that were swapped though.
Oh, okay.
There was a few. Okay, so
So is that what you're gonna do with the other 60/30?
No. One Detroit's enough.
Okay.
One Detroit's enough. I do know this. They did some updating. Okay, so I know, like, just real quick, if we touched on the 60/30 motor, block's the same. They're the 519 motor, or 530 cubic inch motors. But then I know they did different. Oh, I wish Larry was here. He could totally answer that. We're gonna hold off on that one. We will get Mechanic Larry here to describe or to differentiate the difference between 50/20 motor, 60/30. I know there were some things different with the oiling. I think they had better piston rings in them. Different things like that. Little things that made a big difference. One of the reasons that these engines, this engine swap, this Kinsey Repower became popular, was because 50/20 motors were failing.
Oh, okay,
So,
got it.
Yep.
Cool.
So you had a newer tractor, motors either getting tired or maybe let go. Hey, what do? You put a Detroit in it.
Got it.
If you're in Iowa in the
Yeah.
late 60s.